Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Resale Market. Thank you for joining us on episode 356 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor. How's it going, Trevor?
Hey, pretty good. Just enjoying a relatively warm Saturday for once.
You say relatively warm. And I know, the Floridians are feeling this probably too, but it's like 97 degrees where I'm at right now. So, Not necessarily unseasonably warm, but
warm is 17 to 18 degrees Celsius, which
is
like
what in
70s, I think.
That's nice. That's nice. We have a very Canadian heavy episode today, by the way. There's like several Canadian specific things that I found. Not heavy, good.
But I'll look forward to that. But we actually have some more pressing things we need to talk about.
That's true.
We brought on a guest for that, somebody that we've had on before. So I'm going to introduce her because normally you get to do this, Tom. So I'm just taking the reins of this. So we have Carrie from DVC Resale Market joining us on the show again. So welcome back to the show, Carrie.
Well, thank you. It's so good to be back with you guys. And you're talking about the weather in Florida is hot and humid. I'm up in Boston, where it's a beautiful, like low 80s day today. So I'm loving this weather.
Oh, okay. Are you not down in Florida anymore? Are you just on vacation or something?
No, yeah. I came up for a little bit just to help my parents with a few things. And so I came up yesterday. Yep. So I escaped. It's rainy season in Florida and it's so hot and humid. And I've lived there for so long, having worked for Disney for so long. And so now to enjoy, you don't get these beautiful days much in New England. So we'll take them.
Isn't it just always hot and humid in Florida at all times?
Yeah. I don't want to say anything bad about Florida, but yeah, for the most part, it is kind of hot and humid.
I feel like Florida has like two seasons, extremely hot and slightly less hot.
Right. We do get chilly though. If you're over there January, February, March, and I mean, I realize I'm talking to a Canadian also. I know who I'm talking to, but it does get cold there. It's crazy. It does. We can get down into the 30s and 40s.
Yeah,
that is true. We did actually one trip. We were there and we actually had to put on our toques in Magic Kingdom. And I know that was the most Canadian sentence I've said in a bit.
But your toques.
we actually knew it was going to be cold. And it was funny because, we were walking around and, there was people like buying like blankets in the gift shop because they weren't prepared. And we were like, oh yeah, we got our gloves and our toques and we're good. So
and those of us who live there long enough, we're just excited to break out some sweaters and jackets and cute accessories and everything to be cold for a little bit because it doesn't last too long. But when it does, it's exciting. That's the excitement of Florida. When the iguanas start from the trees. Yes, the season.
The iguanas start from the trees. Yeah. Yeah. So 3 seasons, super hot, extremely hot, slightly less hot, and cold for a couple days.
Surprise winter.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But Carrie, you've been coming on our show for a long time now. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a long time, I feel like.
I know. I think it's been 4 years, maybe 5 years.
It's crazy.
It's been a long time, but always appreciate it coming on. Always appreciate the invitation and your viewers. And it's always just such a great conversation. And hopefully it's, good things to learn from DVC and what's going on and this and that. Just give a few quick updates and everything. But yeah, it's always great to be back with both of you.
Great. Well, do you have anything going on with the DVC resale market right now? Like I know you guys like run specials sometimes and things like that. So what's going on?
Yeah. So, I mean, right now, it's been definitely a little bit of a different year. A lot of people will ask me, is it a buyer's market, seller's market? How are things looking? And things are looking a little bit different. we need listings we're really seeing some low numbers on listings, especially Grand Floridian, Polynesian. So that's, if you're looking to sell your contract, if you're kind of on the fence for it, now is really a great time because inventory is low. So buyers, your contract will stand out, definitely as being kind of a little bit more of a buyer's market right now in terms of not having a ton of inventory out there. It's also a good time, as I was sort of just thinking about this episode. And as a seller, one of the things to think about as a seller is that the annual dues will flip over soon. So right now, the buyer will pay the annual dues for the 2026 points because if there's still an allotment, say for June or August use years or whatnot, they're going to get those points. Come September 1st, that's going to flip over where the seller will not be reimbursed for the annual dues. So it might be a good time to consider listing if you're wanting to get your dues recouped, for 2026. Yeah, that's a great kind of time frame. We're middle June, so you still have time to really get everything listed up, sold, before kind of that September time frame. Listings sales after November 20th is when Disney will require the dues to be paid by the buyer up front. So we've got some deadlines coming up, for buyers and sellers that if you're in the market for, a great listing, now's a great time. You get maybe a full set of 2026 points that you can use or bank. And then if you're a seller, it's a great time now because you can still recoup those 2026 dues perhaps, even though you paid them back in January. So it's a great time to list. And we definitely need some listings. That's probably the hottest topic right now. That and a little bit of ROFR. There's some ROFR news too.
Yeah, I was looking at, because I do check out the blog every once in a while just to kind of see what ROFR is doing. And I noticed that Disney does seem to be continuing to buy back contracts and not, not at high levels. I think it was what was the buyback, like 3% or something like that. It was in that range.
Yeah.
It was still a small amount, but it seems like they're really focused on Grand Floridian. And I also saw that they were buying back some West Coast contracts too, which I thought was interesting.
The West Coast is crazy. Grand Californian has really had some eyes on it for Disney. The highest being bought back at $254 per point. That's really a great, that's high,
that's high,
for a ROFR. It definitely
crazy.
is. It's significant. It shows that Disney, holds that inventory very valuable also for Grand Californian. So we are seeing that, but you're absolutely right. Grand Floridian continues to be just a solid ROFR buyback a lot. And then Old Key West comes in second.
Interesting.
So you've got kind of those two first and second places. So, there's no rhyme or reason as to how to pass ROFR. I get a lot of buyers ask me that. How can we pass that? We can't guarantee anything. It's kind of like, I always call ROFR like the Wizard of Oz. We don't know what goes on behind the curtain at Disney. And I worked for Disney. I think I've told your listeners many times I worked for Disney for over 20 years and I sold DVC for 4 years. So I have a really good understanding of Disney and DVC and, what goes on behind the scenes at DVC. But with ROFR, none of us, and we're all of the agents and all of the admin here at Resale Market, we're all former DVC cast members. So it's hard to say what would pass ROFR and what wouldn't. My opinion always is just a strong offer. Make it as close, if not at asking price, agreeing to the terms, that the seller has set and seeing, hopefully it passes ROFR. But we are seeing Grand Floridian, like I said, Grand Floridian and Old Key West are the top two that we're seeing be bought back quite a lot. And not, anything record breaking. We're still low on ROFRs coming back from last year. So we have less ROFRs this year than we did this time last year. So it's still a softer season for ROFRs. It's not gangbusters by any means, but you still want to make a good offer and do, everything we can to try to get past that ROFR buyback.
I didn't put this on our list of questions, Carrie, so I'm sorry to blindside you with this, but we were talking about ROFR and I forgot to add this. We had seen that there were reports out there that Disney was now locking down points while the ROFR process was happening. So like that they were basically locking down points so that they couldn't be spent. And I was like, we were wondering on the show, like, I wonder how much of a problem it really is when someone's going to sell their contract and it goes into ROFR, if that seller is, how often a seller goes and then books, something with those points when they really shouldn't be doing that. Like, is that something that comes up a lot with resale? I mean, it is interesting to me that Disney took the step. It's reportedly, I don't know if it actually is happening or not.
Yeah,
or if you can tell me more, but
it's a great question and a great point. I have heard that Disney's done it on at least one contract. I don't know, however, if it's been consistent across the board. what we tell sellers is, it's like a house. If you've listed your house, don't go make any drastic changes. Don't go paint a room. Don't add on a second room. Don't destroy anything. Now's not the time to remodel. It's the same thing with points and ROFR, that if your contract is listed, what's listed, if it's 100 points, 100 points coming this December, and you go make a reservation, now that whole listing has changed. So we ask our sellers not to make any changes. Disney took it a step further by locking down the points, it seems, on at least one contract to say you can't make a reservation. So from a seller's perspective, I can see where that might be a little bit off-putting, but from a buyer's perspective, it gives maybe peace of mind that, no changes are going to be made. So I don't know if it's a yes that they're going to do that consistently with every contract, or if it was just kind of a one-off as a test phase that, Disney does love to do test phases. So it could have been that too. What I can speak to, though, about that is that we are the only brokerage that offers a point guarantee. And we do that through our title company, and it's a free service. And what we do is we review the point activity statements and all the points right before closing. So again, kind of going back to, if you're buying a house, you're going to do your final walkthrough the day of closing to make sure that the kitchen's intact, there's no holes in the walls.
They didn't take the fridge or something.
You didn't take the fridge, right? Like, what didn't convey, didn't convey. And so you're going to do your final walkthrough, make sure what you're purchasing is what you're purchasing. We offer that peace of mind guarantee so that every buyer, before they move forward to the final closing, we've said, you purchased 100 points and you're getting 100 points. So, and if not, then we've got, policies in place to help, rectify that. It doesn't happen too often, but it's just a peace of mind. We're human beings. The seller might mistakenly said, let's take one more trip and use 25 points. Oh, well, you can't do that, but sometimes they innocently do that.
It actually, good, Trevor.
I was going to say, I feel like to your point about being able to walk through a house is like you have something physical there. The hard part with point transactions is it feels very ethereal, right? Like I know it's, it is all very controlled and everything, but like to your point is, I can't see what somebody else is doing with their contract until their contract moves to me. So yeah, that, that surprise of like, oh, they just emptied out like, this year and next year's worth of points. Surprise. Like, yeah, I can see where, having that extra security is definitely a good thing, because I never thought about when I was buying my contract, because I guess I wasn't, I was just more excited about buying the contract and I wasn't thinking about it. But if I had something planned with that contract immediately, I would have felt really bad if somebody had effectively pulled the rug out from underneath me. So
and it, like I said, it doesn't happen too often. And when it does, it's very innocent by the seller to say, oh, I thought we would just take one last trip, before the kids go back to school. We have said, please make no changes. So, it's never, I don't think it's ever maliciously done. I just think they get excited. And if it is done, but we've got that point guarantee. And then if Disney's sort of putting a halt on those points, while we're under contract, it's not a bad idea. It really isn't. So I can see it, like I said, being a little bit off-putting for some sellers, but you're listing it. So, and you've sold it essentially. And that's when Disney's going, then you have to follow through with what you're selling. Any amendments or changes is got to be authorized basically, because then everything stops, changes, and we start from square one again.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I hope that it's most of the time it's just somebody making a mistake. I actually remember when I bought my second house, you're not supposed to before you buy a house, you're not supposed to open any credit cards or anything like that.
Right.
And we went and bought some furniture, they gave us the credit card deal, and it's 0% for 5 years. And we're like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And then when we got to closing, they were like, have you guys opened any credit cards? And we're like, oh wait, yeah, we did. And that became a whole problem, but it was innocent. I just wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I hope that that's what most of it is, and not people just actively trying to, to take advantage of other people. But I think it's not a bad idea to just lock it down. I don't think that that wouldn't put me off as a seller, just because it's like, I already agreed to this. This is just them, keeping me in check, basically.
I agree. And it wouldn't put me off as a seller either, and I get asked a lot of questions too about if I did list it, let's say we have a reservation over July 4th. Or even the holidays. Let's say you've got a New Year's Eve reservation. You can still list your contract. We can still be under contract, and you can still enjoy both of those trips. You could do a 4th of July. You could do a New Year's Eve. And we just put a delayed closing where the buyer then agrees that they know they're not going to close until, say, after December 31st or after July 4th or whatnot. So you can still enjoy your points if you say, we really want to sell this in 2027, but we've got the holiday trip. Should we wait? No, you can get it listed now. And then all parties agree to close after your trip, and you can still enjoy your trip, and we just close after. So there's always, that's a good thing too, is sometimes sellers think they have to wait until everything's completed, and you don't. You don't. Oftentimes buyers are good with that because they may not need the points just yet. They might have just come back from spring break or, their summer trip and going, we don't really need this until another year anyway. So we're fine to close late. So it's another kind of avenue. Sometimes I think people don't know that, those delayed closings, there's a reason for that, but that can be in both parties' best interest, really.
Yeah.
So the message I'm hearing is, if you're selling, just be clear with your intent on the contract.
Agreed.
Don't list it and be like, well, I might take a trip later. I'm not sure. You just have to, if you're clear, usually people are pretty flexible and understanding.
Yeah. Just don't change the deal last minute.
Yeah. Don't do that.
No
Try
changes.
not, Carrie.
Don't paint your room before you leave your house.
I had this nice black paint I wanted to use through my whole house. Yeah. So going back to you were talking about like low inventory across resorts. One of our questions is, with inventory being low and the prices of rentals seeming to be relatively flat for the last little while, do you see there possibly being a trend in the, like, I would think, with inventory being low, that would kind of drive prices up, but do you see it maybe, or it's weird. Like, I guess, do you have any predictions on how pricing might change for this?
It's been interesting because we are seeing some resorts trend in an upward fashion and others trend lower. So for example, Disneyland Towers has really taken quite a dip over the past month in the price. So if you're looking, if Disneyland is where you want to go, Disneyland Towers are beautiful. That might be a place to be. Something like Polynesian, we've seen it kind of on an upward trajectory. Grand Floridian seems a little stagnant. That's where my contract is. So I'm always kind of looking at, I'm not going to sell it, but I always just like to do a quick analysis on what would it be worth. And I see it's kind of hasn't changed over the last little bit. I have a, just again, prediction, just my opinion. I think we will see kind of different buckets of resorts trend upward. I think you've got Polynesian, of course, with the tower, the location of the fireworks. Bay Lake Tower is another one that's kind of that quiet little understudy that it's getting a bit of a resurgence. I think the refurbishment that was just done at Bay Lake Tower, it is a plus. And I'm seeing more buyers sort of have a little peak interest in Bay Lake because the price is still so good. You can get around that monorail location, kind of in the heart of Disney. So if that's something you're looking for, this might be a great time to jump on it because I feel like prices will creep up. I do think that. I think that they will creep up. With Lakeshore Lodge opening, not to jump over there for a minute, but I think with Lakeshore Lodge
it's a good
opening,
transition.
We're going there.
I figured. So I'm pretty good at transitions. But with Lakeshore Lodge opening, that that's going to have a lot of eyes on it. That's sometimes where sort of, the other resorts, people might not look so much at them, where now might be a great time to look at them before those prices increase in, say, a year or two. So it is kind of on the flatter side, but I don't think it'll stay that way. I think the community of DVC, the demand of DVC, they're investing in this huge Lakeside Lodge village. I mean, it is massive over there.
Yeah.
I had a chance. I don't know if either of you have seen it.
I have.
Have you?
It's crazy.
It's crazy big. We did a firework cruise around Christmas time at Magic Kingdom. And, if you've ever done the firework cruise, if you haven't done a firework cruise, I highly recommend it. It is so much fun. But the captain of your pontoon boat will take you all around the Seven Seas Lagoon before the fireworks. And so we got to see just sort of the whole size. And from Wilderness Lodge, Copper Creek, Boulder Ridge, it doesn't look that big. It looks like kind of normal size. And then you take the boat around, you're like, oh, whoa, this thing is massive.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing because DVC's investing in more rooms for DVC members.
To your point though, Carrie, I own a Bay Lake and I haven't stayed at Bay Lake since we bought originally. So it's probably been about, I don't know, 13, 14 years, something like that.
That seems correct.
What?
You stayed at Bay Lake?
Oh, I did, but like recently for one night, right? We did the Grand,
yeah.
We did the Grand Villa. But I'm saying for like a real trip. Okay, that wasn't a real trip. That was a one night.
No, Tom. You don't get to say that anymore.
All right, fine. But we hadn't stayed for like a longer trip at Bay Lake in a while. We've just been staying in Animal Kingdom, and we're coming down in August and for a trip, and I was talking to my daughter and my wife, and I was like, well, where do you guys want to stay? And I told them what was available because we're booking fairly last minute. It was like last month or the month before we booked. And I had Riviera was an option, and that one's on our bucket list. And we stayed at Bay Lake before, obviously, and they were like, let's do Bay Lake. And it's to your point. I mean, Bay Lake. When the first time we stayed there, we didn't love it. The rooms were laid out in a weird way, and we just didn't. It just didn't do it for us. The best part about Bay Lake is that you're a 5 to 10 minute walk from the most visited theme park in the world, and you can't get that at any other resort. So and that was great when we did the Christmas party. And so I think that's where it kind of got like, in their heads, because I wanted to go to Riviera to have the Skyliner station right there, and but they wanted to stay at Bay Lake, so we're staying at Bay Lake. But
love it.
I'll say this because I'm sure Carrie understands this. Bay Lake is probably as close as you'll get to Grand Californian vibes for accessibility to the park.
Oh, sorry, as far as accessibility, I thought you meant design. I was like, they're totally different.
No, accessibility. You need to understand the vibe of like walking into the park from your hotel room. Like,
well, I mean, but you can get that from like Boardwalk and Epcot, though, right? Like,
there's something about Magic Kingdom, though. Like,
that's true.
It's not quite the same. Yeah,
there was a member of mine when I worked for DVC. There was a member of mine, and they had 3 kids. And they came back and they added on. And the dad said, we were talking, I asked them, what made you add on? He said, my kids are now getting older, and they were like 14, 8, and 6. And he said, it was the night that my 14-year-old and I were sitting up in the living room watching TV. Everybody else was asleep. They had a 2-bedroom. And he said it was about 10 or 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And the father said, put your shoes on. We're going to go ride Space Mountain.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Are you kidding? And he's like, no. And nobody's going to know. They're all asleep. And so he's like, me and my son just ran out the door, ran over to Magic Kingdom because he was looking at the wait times. And he's like, Space Mountain didn't have a wait time. And he's like, we literally rode Space Mountain, and then walked back. And he's like, we both were high five, and that was the coolest night ever. No one will ever know, that we were gone. And he said, in that moment, I thought, I got to do this with all my kids. I have to make sure the other 2 have a moment with Dad, where Dad goes, let's go ride Space, let's go ride Splash, like something fun like that. And so yeah, Bay Lake Tower is so underrated. I think it's such a great resort. Aesthetically, it's not my personal favorite, but location wise, I love California Grill. You can't get a better view of the fireworks. Like, it's just, there's so much going for it.
You certainly can't beat the location, but I agree with you, Karen. It's not my vibe either. Like I prefer Animal Kingdom Lodge and Wilderness Lodge. Those are probably our 2 favorites that we would stay at. Like, that's more of our speed, but you cannot beat the proximity of Bay Lake to Magic Kingdom. It's just so close, and so Yeah, if Polly wasn't our vibe, we would be staying at Bay Lake as well. Yeah. But so I get that.
But vibe, though. That's a good vibe.
It was a lot cooler. I was going to say it was a lot cooler
Yeah.
when they used to keep Magic Kingdom open till like 2 a.m.
I
Then you
know.
could really do
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. They don't do that
Yeah.
anymore, really.
Yeah.
But we did that
maybe
one time.
that'll come back eventually. You never know.
I would love
Mhm.
that. That would be amazing. But anyway,
I
go.
know.
So we started talking about Lakeshore Lodge and
Reflections.
Reflections.
Excuse you. Reflections.
Hey, you said Lakeshore Lodge first before I did.
Yeah,
So,
I know. It's reflections for the rest of the time. Like MGM,
reflections in our heart.
Yeah, it's always reflections.
Yeah. But so we want to start talking about that. But actually, I had a bit of a lead-in question for that because you were talking about from Wilderness Lodge, which is both Copper Creek and Boulder Ridge. The size of those compared to Lakeshore Lodge. Do you back to the point of like talking about pricing and things in the surrounding area of Lakeshore Lodge? I wonder, do you feel like there could be a possible change in the trends of people like looking to book at Wilderness Lodge? And I feel, honestly, this is where I'm wrestling with it, is that I feel like either it could draw more hype towards Wilderness Lodge because people like that area or that like it's the same kind of resort. But I also could see it maybe making that resort less desirable because you have you have Wilderness Lodge 2.0 right next to Wilderness Lodge, right? Like, I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on how Lakeshore Lodge could affect the Wilderness Lodge resorts.
Yeah, I think just coming from learning what we've learned with Riviera, because I'm pretty sure Lakeshore Lodge will have a restriction for resale, and like Riviera, and when Riviera was opening too, we all wondered, oh my gosh, that has the Skyliner. It's right over to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Is that going to rival Boardwalk and Beach Club? It's not kind of the same vibe. It is a different vibe where you've definitely got, the Boardwalk Beach Club area. Riviera, I wouldn't say it's the same vibe like a Lakeshore Wilderness Lodge is. What I know about DVC members is that I think DVC members you've got kind of two groups really of us, where there's diehard, I'm a Wilderness Lodge person, Boulder Ridge, Copper Creek, nothing's ever going to change that. Or I'm open to anything. And if it's Disney, it's Disney. And, what does that mean, that people will purchase more into Lakeshore Lodge and then stay there versus Copper Creek and Boulder Ridge? It's hard to say. I think Lakeshore Lodge is just so huge that could be a turnoff for people. That you've got a long walk to your room, you've got a long walk, say, to the food court. For other people, they might say, this is where we come and we use, the little lake houses that they're building. They've got all those cute little lake houses and whatnot. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is there like a lazy river?
Oh, there is. Yes.
I'm so excited for it.
We were talking about that like nonstop and how great that is.
There's so many great things about that. So I think you might get the same crowd, but I don't know if it will deter from Copper Creek and Boulder Ridge. It's kind of like Riviera and I'm only speaking really to resale right now. You've got people who say, I really want to stay at Riviera, but I don't like that restriction. Well, then if that's where you want to stay for a long time, that's really where you love, buy there and then rent out your points and stay out elsewhere. That's always kind of what we say, is that's a good workaround to say, I've got 200 Riviera points, make a reservation, rent that out, use that cash to stay at Polynesian. So there's kind of a way to get around that restriction, by doing it that way. I don't know that it will rival the Wilderness Lodge. I think there's so many. I am a diehard Wilderness Lodge fan myself. I love it over there. I love that resort. I love how close it is to Magic Kingdom, but you kind of don't have the hustle bustle of the monorail if you don't want it.
It's like quieter almost.
It's
quieter.
removed a little bit. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And my home resort is Grand Floridian, so I'm right in the hustle bustle as far as home resort. But when I walk into Wilderness Lodge, it's like there's nothing like it. It's so beautiful over there. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what people think about Lakeshore Lodge.
we had been talking on the show about this since they started giving more details, because obviously they've been building for a while and hadn't really said anything, and then all of a sudden we get like this deluge of like information about it. But we were thinking that it was going to end up being like a 60-40 kind of situation as far as DVC to regular rooms. And then, this news comes out that, when they file their applications for doing the timeshare thing, it's all DVC. And this is a massive resort. I mean, like you were saying, the predictions I've seen out there, I think from you guys and from others, just based on the amount of points that they intend to declare, it's going to be, they had like 888 rooms or something like that, which puts it only second to Saratoga Springs, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I think we were a little shocked by it, honestly, because it's a lot of rooms to sell. I mean, there's a lot of points to sell, number one. But part of it, obviously, I guess makes sense because all of the Magic Kingdom area is obviously, coveted, right? But were you surprised that this is going to be an all DVC? Like, do you think this is going to be, it's not going to be a Lonnie where they never sell it out, but it's going to take a long time to sell all that, right?
I think it speaks to the community of DVC, how much people love DVC, the generations after generations. DVC's been around for over 35 years and is still going so strong. So for me, as a DVC resale market agent, but also a former Disney cast member for really the majority of my life, I think it's great news to see this type of resort being built, although it's massive and it really took our breath away when we saw it, because I think the company just investing in such a large resort speaks to the power of DVC and how much people love it and the demand of it. Now, I wish they'd build a 5th theme park, because I really wish that they would do that so that people had other places to go too. But that's just my personal opinion and my dream, because I think that would be amazing to have a 5th theme park. Yeah.
Are you going to stay at Lakeshore Lodge, even though you're a Wilderness Lodge player? Are you going to check it out? I mean,
I have yet to stay at Riviera overnight, but I've gone there a bunch of times. We did an event there for work in a 2-bedroom as well. So I've seen the rooms. I've dined at Topolino's. I've been to the pool. I've gone to the little cafe downstairs. There's like that library off the main lobby. I love Riviera. So I can't imagine I wouldn't feel the same way about Lakeshore Lodge, especially since it's such a vibe that I love at Wilderness Lodge. And to just go explore that whole resort one day or a couple days, it would be amazing. So yeah, I definitely will. And if I get to stay there, whether I use my points or, rent out my Grand Floridian points, or some gracious person allows me to stay there on their points, I would love to.
Trevor, I think you were going to ask a question.
I did, but I completely lost my train of thought because I was that's fine.
So, So, I mean, I know, Lakeshore Lodge has even piqued Trevor's interest, because when you were talking about the two types of DVC members before, Trevor is the one that stays at Polynesian and only stays at Polynesian. I'm the one that stays, I'm trying to stay at every resort at some point, right? And that's cool. Like, I have no problems with Trevor doing that. I know lots of people, I have, my brother-in-law's parents have DVC and they only stay at Saratoga. They just stay at Saratoga. That's where they like to stay.
So I need to clarify this a little bit.
Oh no!
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to throw my wife under the bus a little bit here.
Oh no!
I am open to staying at other resorts. My wife very much loves the Polynesian, and I respect that. And I don't complain. Obviously, it's the Polynesian. Why would I complain? Yeah. I would love to stay at some of these other resorts, but I also understand why we don't, because we don't need to, right?
It's comfortable. So, the Poly, right? Yeah. The Poly. So I get it.
But Lakeshore Lodge though is very much like it's somewhere that I, like you, Carrie, I want to explore it. I want to just see what it's all about, see what it offers.
Go in the lazy river, clearly.
I love the idea of a lazy river like that. Like the idea of like doing a day at Magic Kingdom and coming back and like relaxing in the lazy river seems like such an amazing idea.
Yeah.
I wish that they
fantastic.
would put more lazy rivers in, but I know why
agree
they can't.
completely. Yeah.
Yeah. Take
No,
up
actually,
a lot of space, you know.
I remembered what I was going to ask, or I was gonna point out to your point about a fifth park that
Oh, yeah.
like, yes, a fifth park would be amazing, but the amount of expansion that they're doing at the existing parks, I see where there's going to be enough space for everybody. The one thing that surprises me though is that, or we haven't. I don't recall the last time we've had a non-DVC resort open.
It's a good question, right? When is the last one?
You have to go back
to that point. Like, do you see Disney? And again, I know I'm asking this like, we're all in the same boat and we don't know, but like, I wonder if there's ever a scenario where Disney looks at opening a resort that isn't a DVC resort, because the size of this resort and the fact that it's DVC is like,
according to the internet. Yeah. According to the internet, Art of Animation was the last that was a brand new resort, and that was 2012.
Yep.
Now, if you count the Gran Destino Tower at Coronado Springs, that was July 9th, 2019. So, I mean, but net new, Art of Animation, 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Was I thought Art of Animation was the last resort open, not DVC. And Art of Animation, I have stayed there, and it's great. The theming is phenomenal, in all of the areas. What I think sets DVC apart is in the comfort of the rooms, everything down to like the textiles, the bedding, the comforter, the couch. Everything to me felt much more comfortable and a little more plush at a DVC resort, where Art of Animation was so heavily themed, which is great if that's what you're looking for. The kids love it. Cars Land, Little Mermaid. What's the other land that
Nemo?
they have? Thank you, Nemo.
Yeah.
Yes, the theming is absolutely spot on. But I feel like the rooms were everything felt a little hard to me, a little hard-edged, a little uncomfortable. So I think their concept of doing family suites was good, but DVC takes it to the next level. So I don't know why you would build another resort that's just either straight rooms or family suites when you could just buy DVC and save so much money. I don't know. It's an interesting point, though. And Gran Destino is beautiful. I don't know if have you dined up there?
I haven't, but just from I've heard many people talk about how nice it is and how it doesn't feel like it's technically a modern resort, right?
No.
It feels like it should be a deluxe, but
it definitely does. It's spectacular, and the name of the restaurant has just escaped me.
Oh gosh,
it begins with a T, I think.
Yeah, I don't. It's escaping me as well. I've wanted to go there though.
I have dined there, and it's phenomenal. And when I worked
Toledo?
for Disney.
Toledo,
Toledo, yes, Toledo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's delicious. When I worked for Disney, one of my many jobs as a cast member, I was a meeting and events coordinator long time ago. We're talking more than 20 years ago. Oh my Lord. Yeah, about 20 years ago. But as a coordinator, Coronado had just opened, and that was like the big meeting resort because it had this massive 80,000 square foot ballroom. And then, it was great for the food court. Rick's Lounge was there. So there was some decent nightlife, and then this huge ballroom with all of these breakout rooms and everything. And I remember back then, over 20 years ago, they were saying Coronado really needs like a tower because, meetings, conferences, business people coming in prefer to stay more of an inside tower, resort versus outdoor rooms. And so I feel like Gran Destino was a long time in the making, but very much needed for that crowd, for that meeting and event space groups that come in.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So the last question we had for you, it's funny because before we started the show, and we do this a lot where we just kind of start talking, and you had mentioned you didn't know much about this topic, but then we got talking about it, and it was like, oh, okay, well, let's talk about this then. Still, because really, it's just like have some thoughts, on it. But one of the things that's been coming up is this Palmetto Trust thing, and where where the cabins are within the Palmetto Trust, right? And they're now it's kind of rumored, but not really sure, confirmed. We don't really know if Lakeshore Lodge will be in this trust. And I think we were talking about this before the show, and in some ways, yeah, I think it would be beneficial to DVC owners, and especially to those that own at the cabins or want to buy at the cabins, because you could theoretically have lower dues. One of the problems with the cabins is the dues are pretty high, and you can you could end up with lower dues because you're spreading the costs across two resorts, and they're pretty much they're next to each other. I mean, they're adjacent to each other. So it's and kind of one of the things too, Carrie, that Trevor and I were talking about, was like, what if they did this with everything, right? Like, what if instead of buying individual resorts, you bought a Magic Kingdom area resort, right? Like you bought a share in a Magic Kingdom area resort, and that includes all the DVC resorts that are around Magic Kingdom. Like, how cool would that be? I feel like that would be really interesting. Now, they're not doing that here, but it is interesting, like what could possibly happen if this does end up in that Palmetto Trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but
it's new. It's not new in the industry from what I see, but it seems more newer to Disney, to DVC with Fort Wilderness, with the cabins. I don't know. I feel like I would, the little I know about it, I am a DVC member, and I like that I have a deed. I have like a deeded interest. And maybe that's just because I don't know a whole lot about the Palmetto Trust, but I like that I have one resort, my home resort, and these are my dues, but I can use the points other places. The only difference is that I can only book them 7 months in advance versus 11 months. So I don't know. I'm a little bit indifferent about it, probably because I don't have all of the information. So that's kind of where I lean more towards, I like what I have.
That's fair.
And that's probably because I know what I have, versus
we don't really know what this is all about, right? I mean, we kind of know, but yeah.
You do bring up an interesting point, Carrie, about having a deed and having a clearly designated resort versus the Palmetto Trust being just like a loose
share of the trust, basically, right? Yeah.
Because I think the interesting thing about that, or I guess my concern with it would be, it kind of sounds like a bit of a double-edged sword, honestly, that if you have a trust, is there, I don't know enough of the rules around trusts if assets can move in and out of a trust, if that makes sense. So like, could it be that like you're saying, Thomas, maybe this becomes like the new trend where like all new resorts that come online, are part of the trust. But, at some point, if they just arbitrarily start making lines or saying like, oh no, actually, this one's out of this trust, we moved it to a different trust, we moved it around. Yeah. And so suddenly you're denied access to something that you had previously. I mean, I don't even know if that's possible, honestly, but it feels, I get your point, Carrie, that it feels a little more fuzzy, I guess is the best way I can describe it, that it doesn't, because it's not clear to me. I'm very curious how this is going to relate to Lakeshore Lodge if they connect the cabins and Lakeshore Lodge together with this, what that actually looks like. Because I mean, I'll be honest, if it turned out that like buying into Lakeshore Lodge, you had to buy into this trust, that would be a little off-putting to me, I guess, would be my take on it.
If it wasn't even like really evident to you though, like would it, like if you're just still seeing like the points and stuff like that, does it really matter, I guess?
I don't know that. Yeah. Like if it's the members who purchased into Fort Wilderness cabins.
Yeah.
I wonder to your point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because for them, all of a sudden things would change, or like the rules would change. But the problem is it would be a benefit to them. But then on the flip side of that, for Lakeshore Lodge, like I wonder,
would be a benefit to them, right? Like I guess we really don't know, right?
But I'm wondering where like it feels like there's a negative that could come with this, right? Like like I said, I get what you're saying, Carrie, that we don't know any information about it yet, and we're just asking this obviously because we just like to talk about these things, but
right.
but yeah, it's I'm curious how this is going to shake out when Lakeshore Lodge actually comes online, and how that may reflect to like resale contracts,
Right.
because it kind of feels the same as like the Disneyland towers. Like I know you were talking earlier about the Disneyland tower being very
Hello to your dog.
I'm sorry.
I thought
You're fine.
all good. The Disneyland tower, isn't selling as well, but I know that part of that is because they have the transient tax, and that's a turnoff to people, right? I feel like this trust could be the same kind of like negativity around it.
But you know what though? Like, think about like the resale restriction thing. What if the trust, includes 5 resorts, and now instead of when you buy a resale contract, you're locked into one resort, you have a choice of 5 resorts because they're all in the trust. I mean, I don't know if that's how it would work, but I'm just saying like that would be a net benefit. It would kind of take the sting away from that resale restriction a little bit,
Right. It's all great points because we just don't know. And I think, I lean more towards, I kind of like what I have already. It's not broken. I don't want to,
Mm-hmm. Don't mess with mine.
Yeah, don't mess with it. But I'm be open to hear more if it what the pros are of it as well. And you're right, like the transient tax in for Disneyland and California, but that doesn't seem to stop members from purchasing it either. Everybody kind of has their pros and con list too. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Lakeshore is going to be a very interesting time when it opens. I think, it'll be interesting to see how sales go with it, the marketing that's done on it, and the promotions and whatnot. I was with DVC when Copper Creek opened, and I feel so lucky to have been at DVC for that time because it was so exciting. But I remember one of the things that people said, cast members that is our guests going to want this because Boulder Ridge is right next door. So why would you pay more money for Copper Creek? And then all the pluses came out that it's in the main building. It's a longer deed. There's different, the rooms are different, so there is some differences to it. And it was a great opening. Copper Creek didn't do as well as maybe a Grand Floridian add-on did, but it still had a lot of hype around it and people still loved it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Lakeshore Lodge.
Yeah.
Well, Carrie, I think that's all we got for you today. We really appreciate you joining us as always.
Thank you so much. I always appreciate coming on and chatting with you too. It's always entertaining, always fun. Thanks for letting me come on and just give a few updates. And for anybody, if you're interested in selling your DVC contracts, dvcresalemarket.com. There's the information on there. And then, of course, buying, all of our listings are listed under dvcresalemarket.com. And any of our agents would be happy to help you sell, buy, answer any questions. We love what we do. Like I said, we're all DVC cast members prior. So it's, we're here to help however we can.
And how can they contact you directly if they want to? If they just want to ask you questions only?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to. Yeah, if anybody wants to ask me a question specifically, my email is Kerri, Kerri, at dvcresalemarket.com. I always spell my first name because there's like 50 different ways to spell.
That's true.
And people think I say Terry or Karen or Carol but yeah, Kerri. And so under team, under dvcresalemarket.com, you can read my bio as well if you'd like to as well. But yeah, if I can answer any questions or help you get anything listed, a lot of times people, especially sellers, will say, I've thought about selling, but it seems daunting. I try to make the process as simple as possible and try to get it listed, as quick as possible. And then of course we want to sell it as fast as possible as well.
I can attest that it is a very quick and easy process. And the last time I sold a contract, it sold within like 24 hours. So,
oh, that's good news. Yeah, we like to hear that. Yeah, we do. Our marketing team does just such a wonderful job with social media, and so there's an online presence, there's a newsletter, there's emails that go out. So we work really hard to get our listings sold and to get you the top value for your listing as well. So, we say work with the best. I do believe we are the best. If I can give us a little plug.
We want to work with you guys if you weren't. So
well, thank you guys. Yeah. You guys truly are the best too. I always love my Saturday afternoons chit-chatting and just catching up with both of you.
We love it too.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kerri.
Thanks, Kerri.
All right, guys. Have a great afternoon.
All right, so that was great having Carrie on as always. She's always always fun.
Oh yeah, I do really enjoy those conversations because and I know, okay, people listening to the podcast may go like, oh yeah, you just you talk to your sponsor for an extended period of time, but the thing is, and we keep saying this, we wouldn't be working with them if we didn't agree with what they were doing, and I hope from the conversation that it's as much about, us learning stuff and, hopefully people listening to the podcast learn stuff along the way too. Like that's, and the fact that as a sponsor that they're willing to engage with us and give us like the level of information that they do, because they don't need to, like, as a sponsor, like you don't need to come on and like talk about stuff necessarily. Right. Like, sponsorship doesn't have to be that deep. And I appreciate the fact that they do. So
yeah, absolutely.
I just put that out there. I think that says something to their integrity as a company and all that. So
yeah, for sure.
But anyway, I know you said at the beginning of the show, and I've looked at the rundown as we're talking here. Yeah, did you like just search for all the Canadian news?
No, it just happened. I was gonna queue up the Canadian national anthem. I was gonna queue up "O Canada," but I couldn't find a rates free version. I was really disappointed by that. That's disappointing. But
I remember the French version. Oh, Canada,
so it's our Canadian. This is our new Canadian segment.
I probably got that totally wrong.
That's okay. But this first news item is Disney Plus is developing first ever Canadian original shows. Trevor.
Yeah. This is. I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
No, this is what Netflix does. They do like all over the world, right? They have different things they develop.
The one thing I'll say that I'm really so reading this,
you're going to be psyched about the same thing I am.
Maybe I assume you know who Bruce McCulloch is.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but
I loved Kids in the Hall when I was a kid. I watched it all the time.
Good. Okay, because as soon as I saw Kids in the Hall, that piqued my interest because same as you, I grew up on Kids in the Hall. It is definitive like Canadian content from like the 80s and 90s and is in the same vein. Like for my humor, it's like Monty Python, right? Like it's that
like sketches and
absurdist humor, sketches, all that kind of stuff. So the fact that one of these shows is being developed by Bruce McCulloch from Kids in the Hall is really cool. Like that's
exciting. Yeah.
I love seeing that. That's it's called Knighted though is the name of the show. And I'm just trying to piece together what this would even look like because the description.
Go ahead, read it.
It says Knighted is a documentary style series about a local dinner theater being developed by Bruce McCulloch. So, okay, all right. Now that I've read
it's
it
like The Office kind of thing, like it's a documentary style, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it now. Because I was like when I read it, I missed the part about a local dinner theater because it made it sound like it's dinner theater, but it's a documentary. But no, it's talking about a business that is like a dinner theater that I can see how this could get insane.
It could get
very
funny
quickly.
Anyway.
And knowing how sketches go in Kids in the Hall and stuff. It's
let's hope he brings that Kids in the Hall kind of style to this because then it will be great. Yeah.
And I will say, I mean, he honestly like Schitt's Creek done by Dan and Eugene Levy is another example of great Canadian content. And I'm sure, you've probably watched it and lots of people have at this point. I feel like there's a bit of a high bar to reach there now because of it. Like that show was so phenomenal. That like,
I feel like I need to beat that.
I mean, I hope Bruce is up to the challenge of, meeting that level because I as a Canadian, I'm very much on board with seeing more Canadian content as long as it's good Canadian content because and this is not a problem exclusive to Canada, but in media, there is all kinds of examples of like low bar content that happens. And like from when I was a kid, the problem that I have with it is that there was very much a mandate from our broadcast or the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation that, or actually, sorry, it wasn't even the CBC. It was, there was another entity that basically they were like mandating so much Canadian content on TV and everything, which I understand. But the problem is that there was a lot of stuff that was generated that really wasn't that good. Like it like people were getting basically grants to like make like I equate it to. Did you ever own a Nintendo Wii?
I did.
Do you? I don't know how much you paid attention to. yeah. The spread of games on the Nintendo Wii got really bad to the point where it was called. They called them shovelware games, where it was just like shoveling out garbage. There was just so many garbage games. We had the same problem in Canadian media for a little while, and where there was a lot of like just like low hanging fruit stuff that happened, or I guess maybe I saw a lot of it. So my concern with them saying like, "Oh, we're doing Canadian shows on Disney Plus," is I'm like, okay, but are you doing it just for the sake of saying that it's Canadian, or are you actually going to get like quality stuff coming out of this, right?
Well, so far this seems quality, right? They got.
So Bruce McCauley is, that's a good.
It's a Canadian legend right there, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Canadian comedy legend. So that's a good start to this, and then I
feel like we don't need to go into the other one too much. It's just like a true crime docuseries, basically, right?
Yeah. What's it called? I'm Not Coming Back it's a docuseries.
Let's not get into that one. That's
okay. Yeah. As I'm reading the description, I'm like,
go read about that somewhere else.
Okay. This is the funny thing too, and I think we've talked about this with Disney Plus, is that we so like you have Hulu and Disney, and like the more like adult trending stuff tends to land on Hulu, where Disney is very like kid oriented. Yeah. It's all mixed in for us on Disney Plus.
Well, like now it's all mixed in for us too, though. So Hulu still exists separately, but if you go on Disney Plus now, all of the adult stuff is also on Disney Plus. So
so you're getting the similar experience to what we have, which is sometimes funny, because when you hit the landing page on Disney Plus, and it's like you get the ads for like like Hoppers has just come out, but then the next ad is like something like this true crime docuseries.
Have you watched Hoppers yet, Trevor?
I have not yet. We do need to watch it.
We watched it again. It's great.
Okay.
My daughter liked it even more this time. So
I need to. I'm having a bit of a challenge with my son that, as a family, we've agreed that we're trying to sit down and watch movies together a little bit more, because we hadn't really done that for a while, and we all just kind of agree. It's like, hey, it's a good way just to sit down and like, spend some time together. The challenge is that, with my son is now officially an adult in Alberta. And I know you're like, for some of you out there, it's like, yes, 18 is the legal age of adult. So, he's off with his friends doing adult stuff. Like they can go and drink now. They can go and, do all that kind of stuff, which, the problem with that obviously is that getting time to sit down and watch a show, his time is at a premium. And I'm not saying this as like, I'm not being that parent where I'm like, why won't you spend time with me? But it's like, I also understand that, my desire to sit down and watch a Disney show with him, like he will do it. It's just,
I think he'll like this. I think he'll like this,
but
honestly.
But it's just I also have to accept that I'm not going to get his time, or we have to negotiate when we're going to watch it. So it could be in the next month, could be in 6 months. I don't know, but I do want to watch it for sure.
It is very good. Yeah. So not to move on here, but
So back to Canadian content. But
the reason I put this next one on, because we talked about it, but I put this on specifically because they put the menu out for the new Poutine stand at the Canada Pavilion. Yes, La Poutinerie. And I thought, reading the menu, that you might feel better about this because it seems like they did what you've been asking for.
A little, yeah, actually. Okay. So, the Poutineery hosted by Air Canada, which Air Canada is not my favorite airline, but whatever. The very first thing they put on here is the Quebec L'Authentique, which is French fries, cheese curd, and brown gravy. Gold star. You figured it out.
You figured it out. That's poutine, right?
Yes. And then they have a this is
Montreal
this would
version, I guess. Yeah,
Montreal. It has the accent on there. It's Montreal.
Okay. Yeah.
Montreal Beyond Fume, I think is how you say that.
You would know better than me.
French fries, cheese curd, smoked meat, pickles, and mustard gravy. So it looks like they're starting from the base of proper poutine, and they're adding stuff to it, which is fair. You so my thing about poutine is that you have the base stuff there. The French fries, cheese curds, and the gravy. It's not hard, right? Keep with those three things. You can add other things. So like a Montreal smoked meat, really good. If you haven't had Montreal smoked meat, it's delicious. So, but you can add that onto your poutine. The issue I have, or that I've been getting stuck up on poutine, is when they're like, here's sweet potato fries with like some queso and like, it's like, no.
Those are loaded fries, not poutine.
Yeah, exactly. Like there is a difference, but yeah, I mean that's a good start to the menu. Like
I have to say the pictures look really good. Like even just like the original ones, those fries look like hand cut, legit fries.
Dude, that's how your poutine fries should be. Like
they look delicious.
That's how we get. Yeah. I think that's the other thing too. Is like don't give me like the thin McDonald's fries in my poutine. Like don't.
Yeah, you gotta.
They got to be like real, like russet.
Skin still on.
Keep the skin on. Thick cut. Like they need a little bit of weight to them because they got to catch all that cheese curd and gravy. So
I mean, these look like they do that. I'm gonna have some of these when I go in August, and I will let you know because I love poutine. I love poutine.
And then I know, we have been talking about you're planning to come up north next year because you have a cruise.
Right. Yes.
But maybe on your way up here, you can compare notes. Stop and grab some poutine.
You're taking me to get some legit poutine. That's happening while we're up there.
I'll have to figure out where. So the interesting thing is poutine, like a lot of things. I mean, it is fast food. So I need to figure out where. I'll have to scope out some places because we have cheap and dirty places you can get poutine, but I'll need to find a good proper one for you. Because we do have them. It's just,
When I Google it, this Smokes Poutineery comes up, and there's like some pretty cool looking stuff on this menu, but I don't know if that's near you or not. I have no idea what that is.
I'll have to look.
It looks really good. Anyway, I just wanted to put it on there because I thought it would make you happy.
No, that is definitely I'm glad they figured it out.
Yeah,
fun. Like there's
maybe they have a poutine representative from Air Canada. They sent it.
I mean, the fact that they're actually using like it sounds like somebody from Montreal weighed in on this because really, like poutine is it is very much a Quebec thing where it started, and obviously I'm not from Quebec, but being in Canada, I know a lot of people from Quebec. There's poutine that comes out here. It's like. People have moved from other parts of the country to where I live, and I get to experience all of the things from those other parts of the country. So, we do have authentic poutine out here. We do have people from Quebec that, the reason that I know the difference is that, I have friends from Quebec that are like, these are the rules of poutine. And that, they have expressed it to me, and I do know the difference. I have had like the really bad like loaded fries versus proper poutine, and when you know that, you see the difference, and you're very quick to call it out because of it. So
that's understandable.
I'm not trying to gatekeep your French fries experience, but poutine's poutine. Like don't.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm excited to try this.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, I'll say, I usually walk by the Canada Pavilion. I might actually stop and have a look there, and not because I dislike the Canada Pavilion. It's just I don't have a need to
go to
experience Canada when I'm from Canada.
Yeah, you're
right?
from Canada.
But I'm curious to see how their poutine shakes up. Like, the gravy can also be bad too, but. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they seem like they're trying to do a legit take on this.
I agree. Yeah.
So, all right,
cool. The other thing I have on here is there's this new merchandise line coming out that I thought was very interesting called Logo Mania.
I've seen this too, and it's really nice.
It is really nice. It's interesting, right? Because what they're doing here, it's all the same merch. It's just different colors, and the colors are very bold, right? Like they're very bold colors, and they're
like primary colors, Yeah. So I guess the interesting thing, they're not all identical because they have little accents to them. So or like looking at the way it's described, so like all the blue is like. Or it says last day of trip blues, but it has like a Mickey balloon on it. Yeah. But then the green one is Tiki Room themed. So like they're not, but
it's not really Tiki Room themed, right? Like there's no like Tiki Room stuff on there. It's just this dark green color, I'm
trying to find because they have the logo on the website with like.
But it's not on any of the stuff though. That's what's weird to me.
Yeah, you're right. I thought they would have had the logo.
Yeah, it's just like the same merch, just different colors, which is fine. I'm not complaining about that. I just thought it was weird when I said themed-ish. Okay, I read the Tiki Room collection, and I'm thinking, oh, cool, Tiki Room stuff. And then I looked at it, I was like, but there's nothing about the Tiki Room on it. And how is this any? I mean, I guess because it's the color of a tree. I don't know. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird.
Themed, yeah.
Yeah, but I just
Polynesian jungle theme. Yeah,
I got hyped up for Tiki Room stuff, and then there was no Tiki Room stuff on there. It just was the color. So, and then there's like a bright pink that's a Fantasyland one. Then there's
apparently that one's incredibly popular from what I've
Is it really? Is that like a huge thing right now? I mean,
from I've seen people covering this in videos and like people buying the merch. Like there's like a horde of people around the pink section. And the other sections are kind of left alone because
listen, I could see my daughter looking at this and wanting it, like honestly. Yeah. So she does like pink, and I mean these are really bright colors. I will post pictures, but they are like really vivid colors.
Yeah, it's very vibrant, very very solid colors. I will admit, we've talked about this before with Disney merch that sometimes like they'll do a set where it's like Disney 2025 and like everything has like a logo on that's like and I get trying to like be like, oh, it's like a yearly collection, but it's like it's so like overtly over the top that you don't want to wear it because it's like you're buying somewhere. Yeah, but it like it's either point in time or the logos like just overtake like the fashion itself or like what you're wearing. The thing I like about these is that, like you said, the fact that it is like it's just straight colors. Like it's literally it's Disney merch, but pick it in the color that you like. I like the green stuff. I like this green hoodie. The bag is cool. And
it's a good green.
Yeah, and they're not even showing all the bags. Like they have there's like a sling bag and stuff that they do in here, and it's like, yeah, I would buy that stuff. Like that's
it's simple, but effective.
It's simple, but it has the logo. It's clear where it came from, but it's also not like trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we also there's a couple other ones, right? So there's the Park Hopper one, which is a limited time one, and that's a bright orange.
I do like the orange too, and actually my wife would really like this. My wife likes orange, so
it's almost themed to Monorail Orange, but even Monorail Orange has like a darker orange. So this is like really bright.
Yeah, this is like a tangerine orange.
Yeah. And then there's also a Popcorn on Main Street one, which is exclusive to Walt Disney World and also limited time, which is just again bright yellow. I think movie popcorn, that's the color. The coconut oil they put on your popcorn. Yeah, exactly. And then last but not least, another Walt Disney World exclusive, Parks After Dark, and you can probably guess what this color is. It's black.
Straight black.
Straight black. Yep.
That is a very like.
It's an
It's
aggressive
funny.
black.
Yeah, it's a very like just strong black. Like the hoodie looks like it has like no texture to it because it's so dark.
It's like blending into the background. It's like
yeah.
But then the white pops on it so much because it is so black.
So the interesting thing though is initially I was like, oh, why would you wear black? But then it's like, well, Mickey's
black. Yeah.
Mickey Mouse is black, and like I could see this being like, people Disney bounding. Like this is how you accent your stuff for Disney bounding is you get the black Disney World hoodie and whatever else they offer with merch. They have these Mickey ears that are in all the different colors as well. The funny thing is that the black Mickey ears are like, if you think about it, this is like the most basic Mickey ears.
Could
ever.
Not be more basic. Yeah.
Yeah. But somehow it's fine. You're
right. Yeah. They're basic, but they look good. I mean, although I'm not going to lie, I look at this collection and I immediately go Darth Vader, right? Like, immediately go Star Wars,
Yeah, I was leaning towards Mickey Mouse, but yeah, you could definitely, this could be Vader or actually, no, there's not any red in it. Vader needs just like you need a hint of red in it somewhere.
Well, you like just Vader. From like the stuff he has on like on his chest thing? Like, is that
and the saber? Yeah.
The saber,
lightsaber. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
well, these are pretty cool though. I could see, like I said, I could see my daughter wanting these bright pink ones. Who knows? Her favorite color changes by the day, so it could be a different color. Who knows? But these are available now, so you can get these now. And as Trevor said, they're probably going to be a little bit challenging. They might be a little bit challenging to get some of the more popular ones. I could see
some of the colors. Yeah, it's interesting. It kind of points out an interesting thing about color design and what's popular and what's not. Like obviously, certain colors kind of move through in trends and stuff, but it is very clear how like pink versus yellow versus orange.
Yeah,
how it plays out for people that and I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't sound maybe condescending, but I feel bad for you if your favorite color is pink because it's like
terrible.
I know, but it means that like the thing is like for me it's like, hey, there's some green merch and I'm like, yeah, I could probably get a hold of this. And like my wife likes orange. My wife's colors are like orange and purple. So it's like, I could get a hold of green and orange merch in this line without a lot of issue.
Oh, you're just saying you feel bad for them because they won't be able to get the stuff. It's so popular.
I feel bad because you're is the common one.
I see. I was confused. I thought you were trying to say that you were looking down on people that wear pink.
No, well, that's not what I mean. Like
yeah,
I'm
I know.
I'm not trying to pretend like that I'm somehow like better than you because I picked a different color. But it's just funny how like people gravitate towards certain colors, and I kind of look and go like, oh, I'm glad that's not my favorite color because I would hate to have to fight for that.
I get it. Yeah, I get that. All right.
No, I'm not hating on anybody for, whatever colors you like. That's, that's you. It's just funny how it like you see in these collections how people gravitate towards them. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Trevor, we haven't done this in a while and we don't have time for a full one, but I'll give you a little taste. That's all you get.
All right.
We don't have time for a full food time. I'm sure we will do one soon with Food and Wine coming up here. Mm-hmm. I'm sure we'll get menus for Food and Wine very soon. So we will definitely do, obviously, a full food time episode for that. But in the meantime, we do have a Disney Celebrates America foodie guide. So this is some things coming out around the 4th of July and, the 250th anniversary of the United States. So we got to talk about, these food items. We don't have a ton of time to do so, but let's do it. Let's start though, over at Port Orleans, which, true to form have beignets, and these are 4th of July beignets. Which are cinnamon dusted beignets with marshmallow sauce and apple pie filling.
Okay.
And, I would eat that. I mean,
the only thing that's 4th of July about them is the sprinkles.
Yeah. I guess the apple pie thing is, people associate apple pie with
okay,
America,
sorry. Yeah,
right?
yeah. I guess I forget the whole apple pie thing. Apologies, as
How dare you?
I'm not in tune with how important apple pie is.
It's our national mascot.
Yeah, I have it at Thanksgiving, so I don't know.
It is delicious.
But
we also
this next cake though.
This looks good.
This 4th of July cake that's strawberry and lemon mousse and confetti cake covered in a hard chocolate shell that just...
It's one of those dome cakes.
Yeah. This would be so satisfying to crack
I'm gonna
into.
Eat this. This is at Contempo Cafe, my friend. I am staying
you're
right
having
there.
it.
Yeah. I'm getting this cake. This is happening. Strawberry and lemon mousse sounds delicious.
How long did they say these are going to be offered for? Or does it say?
No.
Because it says they're going to start offering them June 15th, but I wonder if they'll still be available by the time.
That's a good question.
Because they don't have an ending date on this. They just say available starting June 15th. So I wonder, maybe do you suppose that they would do this for because it's like the 250th is maybe they're doing like a full year celebration thing where this is available.
They certainly could. I mean, they've soared across America, right? So
that's true. Yeah,
that's going to be, and they haven't even said when that's going to end, right? So, which by the way, there is a Disney unscripted video out there about how they made Soaring Across America, and I would strongly suggest you check it out. It's a really cool video. If you haven't watched those unscripted things, they're like showing super behind the scenes of how they build attractions, and it is really fascinating to me anyway. If you're a nerd about this stuff, they go behind the screen on Soarin', they show how they program it. It's very cool.
Yeah.
But anyway,
if you want to understand that stuff. Anyway, back to food. So we're going down to the boardwalk next.
Oh, well, what about Animal Kingdom Lodge in Coronado? They have a strawberry cheesecake.
All they say is strawberry cheesecake. There's not even a picture of this, so I'm not.
No, vanilla bean cheesecake, strawberry coulis, white chocolate color. Okay, cool.
Cool, yay. Next. Sorry, but they're showing all these other things that are very immaculately done.
Show me pictures. I want pictures.
But then you go to Boardwalk. Okay, this cupcake, this strawberry shortcake cupcake at Boardwalk with the pinwheel on it.
Yeah,
yes, that's really good. Please, it's.
I have to say, there is one thing that Disney really excel. Not one thing. I mean, they excel at a lot of things. Yeah. But one of the big things they excel at is when you see the pictures of these things like this. This is what you actually get. It's always accurate. It's not like when you watch the pizza commercial and you see this crazy cheese pull, and then you don't get that when you get it at home.
The frozen pizza dilemma, where you buy the frozen pizza and then all the toppings are shoved in one corner.
Exactly. Yeah. When you get this picture of this item is what you're going to get if you buy this, right? And it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it even looks like they put a little bit of gold leaf on the edges of the pinwheel.
It's a little bit of gold on there. Yeah, it's fancy. Yeah, it's very fancy. I don't know to do that.
And if you're wondering, it's a vanilla sponge cupcake, strawberry filling, chantilly cream, and white chocolate pinwheel. So
it almost looks like it's in a box of like a popcorn box, like a striped popcorn box.
Yeah,
right. I mean, I don't know if that's what they're going for, but
very state fair kind of vibe.
Yes,
is what I'm getting from it. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, 100%. There's some things at the Poly, but they're not new, so we're not going to talk about.
Yeah. So
pineapple
we'll
cupcake,
just pass that. Yeah,
pineapple cupcake and chocolate covered bacon. Which, by the way, have you ever had chocolate covered bacon? It sounds disgusting, but it is delicious.
I haven't had chocolate covered bacon, but I know maple bacon and candied bacon are delicious. So I'm assuming it's in the same realm as that.
Okay,
sweet and salty. Yeah.
Over at Hoop-de-Doo. Hoop-de-Doo doing a thing, which
this is a weird pull for sure.
It is, but these are cool mugs though. These are cool mugs. These are Fort Wilderness Hoop-de-Doo review mugs, and they're metal, camping mugs almost.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I was gonna say they look like an old style camping mug, and
which is awesome.
Yeah, very very nice. I would honestly do a whole merch line of Hoop-de-Doo review. I know it's not everybody knows what it is, but this is the edge of a larger merch line, I feel.
I agree with you, actually. It feels weird that they haven't done stuff with it before, because it does have legendary Disney status amongst the hardcore fans who buy merch like this, you know? So
and And it does the thing. I mean, obviously, the reason that they're pointing it as part of the 250th is maybe is this the wrong term? It's very like Americana, right?
Yeah,
like
it is.
It's like old school Americana is like the entirety of Hoop-de-Doo. So yeah, it makes sense that they're putting it in with all this.
100%. Absolutely. They look good.
Yeah.
There's a Mickey cupcake over at Beach Club, but it's just a cupcake with red, white, and blue sprinkles and some Mickey ears. Nothing special to write home here. It literally just says Mickey cupcake with frosting. So we don't need to talk about that one.
Yeah.
There is, though, a new, and we can't see it. There's no picture of it, but there's the Star Spangled Shake over at Beaches and Cream, a place that I have tried to go to many times and have never actually gotten a chance to go to, which drives me a little crazy, because I want to go there. But it's a berries and vanilla flavored milkshake with confetti cake ice pop. Confetti cake ice pop, whipped cream, red, white, and blue star sprinkles. That sounds pretty good. I would drink that. Probably super sweet.
I don't know why they didn't put a picture of this on here. Like, if it's something new, I don't understand their logic here.
Yeah,
maybe they did.
Yeah.
And then immediately right after it, they're like, "Here's the Mickey cinnamon roll," which doesn't. That's not new.
It's literally just a Mickey cinnamon roll that they threw some red, white, and blue frosting on top of, which is fine. And it's available everywhere, but it's nothing special. Yeah. It's just, they threw some red, white, and blue stuff on top of it.
Same thing with this cake pop.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing that the cake pop's new. I elect this for most disappointing in show. Like,
I wonder what it looks like on the inside. Like, is it got multiple colors on the inside? Because that would enhance it, but they don't show it.
Yeah. The thing is that it's solid blue. It has a little bit of sprinkles. The red sprinkles aren't even like the right red. Like they're faded. It looks like.
What is that about? That's weird.
And then there's like a little bit of white frosting on it. Like,
what are they doing there?
What are you doing? yeah, exactly.
What are they doing?
I'm just like, what are you doing?
Why are we doing this? Okay, yeah, it's fair. Okay. And Disney Springs, the ganachery, again, with something we don't have a picture of. 4th of July Mickey milk chocolate ganache square. I mean, I guess we don't need a picture of that. We know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. So let's get into, I guess we're into the parks now, it looks like.
Yeah. Oh, man, I want this so bad. I'm getting this. I'm going to tell you right now.
All right.
Over at Sunshine Seasons at Epcot, s'more and across America. I love s'mores. S'mores are like my favorite thing in the world. So you're talking a milkshake that is s'mores? I am getting that. Like, immediately. I don't know if I should do it before or after Soarin'. That's a question that I would love to have someone answer for me. Do I drink the milkshake prior to Soarin', or do I do it after?
So even though I don't drink milkshakes, I would say never do it before something like Soarin'. I feel like especially for something like this, because it is, it's marshmallow, graham cracker. You don't want that while you're trying to ride Soarin'.
I will say this too. They also have like a chocolate piece on the top of the Soarin' in the shape of a hang glider, and it's a cutout of the really awesome attraction poster they did for Soarin' Across America. So I love this, and I want it, and I'm going to get it, and we'll take pictures of it while I'm eating it.
Nice.
So, probably not. I'll probably eat it and then be like, oh, I should take pictures. That's what I always do every time.
So the next couple of items here are from the Regal Eagle Smokehouse.
Ooh,
and I have to say, these look really nice, and I appreciate. I appreciate the fact that there is. I didn't think I would be seeing food with Sam Eagle on it. Of all things,
I mean, are you mad?
No, I'm not. No. I was surprised. I didn't think they would go that far, but it's a Sam Eagle Star Spangled Shortcake. Vanilla cake, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, whipped cream, star sprinkles, and a Sam Eagle chocolate coin.
Looking at you very judgingly as he does.
Yeah.
And then there's also good.
I was going to say it's a printed thing. We've kind of gotten on them for that, but this is like, you can see the effort, right?
This is I don't ding them for this one because it's we never get Sam the Eagle stuff, and like I like this. This is cool.
Yeah.
There's also this drink, the 1776, which is blue raspberry Sprite and strawberry fruit juice filled pearls, and they have it so it's like. It's like
looks
red,
like
white,
an Astropop.
It does look like an Astropop. You're right. Oh man, yes. It does. It looks like that.
And I bet this tastes like an Astropop too.
It should. Yeah,
raspberry Sprite and strawberry. Yeah, I
give this to my daughter, and she wouldn't sleep for 3 days. Like
this is drinking an Astropop. Like the hard part is you'd have to like if you or I would probably want more than one of these. So I'd have to plan out my day so that I would be walking by this place multiple times to get one of these.
Yeah. I agree. Over at Magic Kingdom, Columbia Harbor House, which is I always feel like a solid quick service. But they've got a couple items. Nothing new though. There's a berry shortcake. There's a red, white, and blue funnel cake, which is basically the berry shortcake, but with with the funnel cake instead of the shortcake. And then a red, white, and blue waffle. Again, they just keep replacing the bottom part. Is what they keep doing.
You know that meme from The Office, these are the same, or corporate wants you to identify the differences, and these are the same picture. These three things are that meme. Like they're all the same picture,
just with a different bottom. Just different.
I hardly even noticed. I will admit, like unless I read it, it's like, oh, that's a waffle, that's a funky, whatever. Like it's
whatever. Yeah.
You're giving me whipped cream, strawberries, and a cake of some sort. Like I don't know.
Pretty much. We got a red, white, and blue slushie over at Liberty Square. Also not new. At Hollywood Studios, though, there is a new one, and this is currently available over at Rosie's, which, that's not. I don't want to say it's a random one, but there's the red velvet riveter. Yeah, known. Red velvet cake with fudge filling, topped with cream cheese icing, ginger streusel, star sprinkles, and a chocolate piece. That sounds really good.
Yeah, and they're calling it the Riveter because it looks like it's like a 1950s, or I guess
it's the what do you call it
50s.
Why am I forgetting?
Riveter? is the job title. It's a lady doing like metal work.
Rosie the Riveter. Yeah, that's what it is. It's at Rosie's, so it's Rosie the Riveter. Get it? Yeah.
It's again interesting pull because it's a little bit like not as popular, or not the obvious like Hollywood studio stuff, but I appreciate it because it looks different, and I never thought about having ginger in my red velvet
in a streusel. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want that, but I'm curious. Like that's actually a good place for them to be with it because I'm curious about it.
It's also, I don't know if I've ever had red velvet that has fudge with it too. It has a fudge filling and it has the cream cheese icing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining.
That's a lot going on.
It is.
Now that I think about it. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
And then, Trevor, I think this is pretty great. This is pretty awesome. So the popcorn bucket for the celebration is a Sam the Eagle popcorn bucket.
I mean,
looking judgingly at you behind his podium with his red, white, and blue hat.
it looks like a decent popcorn bucket too. Like it's
big.
Like it looks pretty tall. Obviously the hat is helping with that.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
But like it doesn't, like sometimes they do these popcorn buckets where it's like you're not fitting anything in there. This one looks like it'll actually carry a reasonable amount of popcorn. I didn't even realize that the podium was part of it too. Like it kind of blends in with the picture, but so it's Sam Eagle and he's standing in front of a podium with the bunting in front of it and everything. That's that's hilarious.
Yeah. I want to be able to eat the popcorn out of his mouth though. Like I want to open the bottom part of his mouth and shake some popcorn out.
The jaw just unhinges and
like he's vomiting popcorn and I'm gonna eat it.
like a weird bird thing where how birds
it looks like his jaw can move. Like if that's the case, like that would be good. I like that.
I'm fully expecting to see a video of you like making Sam Eagle talk like
that's actually not a bad idea, Trevor. I like that. All right, well that's it for Disney World. Jumping over to Disneyland, and we really gotta hurry up here.
We gotta get out of here. Tom has
really quickly here though. Apple pie dip over at what do you call it? Churro near Town Square and Sleeping Beauty Castle. So this is just like an apple pie dip.
This is the churro cart in the
I don't know what rocket soda is. Do you know what rocket soda is? I have no idea what that is.
Rocket soda. I don't know what a rocket soda is.
And it gives no description. It's just a blue soda with some white stuff and yellow stuff on top. I have no idea what that is.
I think that's supposed to be red, but the coloring is off.
Yeah.
And then an apple pie churro, which is...
That looks like it would be impossible to eat without getting it all over your face and clothing.
I mean, you need like a fork and knife to eat that, I think.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
You're not just...
Yeah. You can't eat that like a normal churro.
Yeah.
It's literally like a churro, and they threw a bunch of apple pie filling on the top, and then I'm gonna get, is that ice cream or is it just like cream?
I feel like that's whipped cream. It looks like it's
probably
whipped cream. Yeah.
Currently, probably that. Then there's a red, white, and blue punch. Again, no detail. Why are they giving no details on what's in these things? That's weird.
This is at Smoke Jumper. So this is actually, Smoke Jumpers is, I thought that was in California Adventure.
We're in California Adventure now. Yeah, where we moved. We moved over to California. Adventure.
Okay, I missed that. Okay, so that's at the first churros in California Adventure, or at Willie's Churro in California Adventure. Red, white, and blue punch looks better than the other drink that they showed, but it's still not clear what it is.
Yeah, they didn't give any details.
There's a Mickey dipped bar at Clarabelle's.
That was pretty good, but basic, right? Yeah. It's just a Mickey bar with
it's a Mickey bar, but they went a little bit extra with the star sprinkles on it. So I'll give them points for that.
Yeah, there's also a s'mores marshmallow wand, which is just like a s'more on a stick. Which, listen, I'm in favor. Like, do put s'mores on sticks and give them to me.
You can walk around with a s'more and not get your hands messy. Yeah,
that's what I like. And then there's a Patriotic Mickey caramel apple, and a Clarabelle cow caramel apple, which is not shown here, but that's throughout the resort. Yeah,
I want to love caramel apples, but I never buy them because they're just too much.
If they cut it, I know they will cut it up, but I don't do biting it off the stick. Like if it's cut up, I would eat it.
Like whenever they give out the slices cut up, like I enjoy that, but I don't want the whole thing. It's too much. Just a little too much. Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can find any other new things on here. I don't see anything else new so far.
Yeah,
I'm just pretty far here. We might be done.
Yeah, these are all. This is all just like normal stuff. I don't know why or maybe they're just reminding people that they have food. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We have food at these restaurants. Come check it out.
Kind of weird. Yeah. Like there is nothing new here. They're just like
just going through all the stuff.
You can get corn dogs at the red cart if you didn't know that. Like how, like,
yeah,
Corn Dog Castle. Like if you didn't know that they were there, because nobody talks about the corn dogs in Disneyland ever at all. At least multiple times a week.
Yeah, all right. Exactly. I think that's it. I think we covered it, and I
think that's good. Yeah.
I'll give you this to end on. Yeah, that's all you get. And we'll, like I said, we'll do a full episode sometime soon here for other stuff. So, but anyway, let's wrap it up.
That was good. Yeah, and just to circle back, once again, glad that we got to carry on from DVC Resale Market. It's always great to talk to her.
Yeah, she's great.
And happy we got to sit down with her. But if for anything that we did talk about on the show, if you have any questions, anything you want to share with us, if you have trip reports that you want to share, that if you want us to put them on the show or whatever, you can always email us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com, or you can find us on our website, welcomehomepodcast.co. You can just hit the contact us there, and that sends us an email as well. So you can always get a hold of us there. You can find us on social media as social media. Yeah, hey, we're on social media. Full stop. No, we are on.
Just like the Disneyland restaurants have food, we're also on social media.
Yeah, exactly. Did you know we're on social media? But seriously though, you can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast. And you can find us on Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. Also on Facebook, check out our group Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, where we talk about all kinds of stuff from the show. And just generally have good Disney conversations. So if you're looking for that, come check us out. And if you want to help support the show, you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.co and check out our different merch there. If there's something that you would like to see in the store, drop us a message. We can usually add stuff to the store. So let us know what you're looking for. We might be able to help you out. You never know. And, also we have a Patreon, so you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod and check out our different Patreon support levels. Our Patreon supporters get an exclusive logo that we don't put on the store. So that's one of the reasons to support on Patreon. Also, all of our Patreon supporters get access to the Discord server, which, as we've talked about, is yet another place that we have conversations about the show and, just generally talk about, Disney stuff. I want to shout out to, there was a conversation in the last day about, it was, I think, Lexus. Yeah. she was looking for people to vote on shirts that she was designing for an upcoming trip. So, I really appreciate people sharing stuff like that to us in our group, because she was looking for input on different which design would look better, and obviously it ended up voting one way. There was a clear winner on that poll, but really love seeing stuff like that. Keep more of that stuff coming because we want to keep the Disney conversation going, right? So that happens on Discord, but you can also do that on Facebook as well. And if you're planning a trip, put that stuff out there, right? Last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or anywhere you can leave us a 5-star review, please do so. It just helps more people find the show and makes us feel a little bit happier. It gives us a nice little warm feeling inside. When you click that 5 stars, Tom and I both feel a very warm feeling. That's right. It's not like the Grinch, like the heart growing 3 sizes. It's just like we just get like a little smile. So leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah, do that, please. And also, the other thing you can do to make me happy, too, is subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us at Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Spotify, YouTube Music, just about any place there's podcasts, you can find us. Huge thank you to the sponsor of this episode, DVC Resale Market, and Carrie, of course, for joining us today and being great as always, and allowing us to come up with ridiculous ideas and things like that. Always a nice thing.
Yep. Love a good speculation session.
That we do. But join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion and, of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
To a house when we had a chair, how she can cuddle is no man's affair. I look around for all the holes, found her in her sugar bowl. Hey, look out!